Hey everybody, it's Doug Schauf with the Make Maine Your Home team over at Remax Oceanside. So we get questioned a lot like, hey, isn't the real estate market just insane? Because, the last few years, it's 2025 right now, but the last few years has been a little crazy. The real estate market, it's crazy. It has leveled out quite a bit, and we're going to kind of talk about that a little bit because everybody kind of seems to think that it's still just wild and crazy out there, and it's not necessarily that way. So we're going to shine some light on what's true and what's not and what you're seeing and all that stuff, and hopefully kind of shine some light on what's happening right now in 2025. Let's jump right in. So we'll run through the history real quick because, like I said, the last few years have been crazy. The pandemic kind of fueled that. Before the pandemic, though, we had low inventory and the market was pretty hot. And then the pandemic happened and it just took off. Interest rates were low. You guys all know the history, but interest rates were low, fuel in the market. Demand was super high. We had properties hitting the market and 30, 40 offers and, 100,000 or more over asking price, the whole 9 yards. It was nuts. It has settled down quite a bit from there, but I think a lot of people still think hey, it's still like that. It's still crazy out there. While in spots we're getting multiple offers, we haven't really seen properties getting 10, 15, 20 offers on them anymore. Sometimes we get multiple offers, like a few, but nothing crazy like it was before. As a matter of fact, we're seeing a lot of places get a little bit less than asking and things like that. A little more comfortable, a little more easy. That's the history lesson there to kind of lead you up to today. And now we're going to talk about more what's happening right now. So the truth about real estate, though, is it really kind of depends on where you're looking to purchase. There are still some spots in Maine that are still very hot. Again, not as bad as what I just talked about, but places like, the coastal towns, Portland, Cape Elizabeth, Scarborough, Falmouth, Yarmouth, they're still pretty hot. And if a house is priced correctly and it's a nice place, they can go very quick. But again, we're not seeing the 30 offers and all that kind of stuff. So if you are starting to, dip your toe in the water and, hey, I want to buy something, you're going to want to know that it's not as bad as it was. It's not like all those stories, As you get further inland, places like Standish, Waterboro, Topsham, offering more opportunities. Days on market is longer. You can kind of take a breath, a little bit less competition, decide on the right house. If you have some contingencies, you can do those things and it makes your life easier. The market has really settled down and it's kind of nice to be a buyer right now. We've been seeing a lot of properties, sell for maybe a little less than what they're asking, some negotiation terms, things like that. Interest rates have gone up and they're, in the sixes, mid sixes, but they are slated to start coming down a little bit, which will fuel some demand. But like I said, if you, for example, if you have a house to sell in order to purchase, maybe you're looking to downsize or upgrade, and it's just hard to do that because of, for whatever reason. And in the past, it was very difficult to do that because of the amount of competition out there. But nowadays, we've had a lot of clients very recently that have been able to go and purchase a home, make a contingent on selling your property. That way it makes it much easier so you can move in a little bit more comfortable rather than being like, oh my God, I got to buy something. I don't have a place to live. I got to sell my house, blah, blah, blah. There's a lot of things that made your anxiety go way up a couple of years ago, which now we can do that a little bit more comfortable and make it a much easier for you than it was the last couple of years. So hey guys, real quick before we move on, if you're watching this video, it means you might be looking to purchase a home here in Maine, and just want to remind you we are real estate brokers and we would love to help you out. Even if it just comes to answering some questions for you, comment below. All of our contact information is in the description. We try to respond very quickly. If you have any questions, we would love to talk to you. And if you do need assistance purchasing a home here in Maine and you want to talk more about the market and your specific scenario, reach out to us. We'd be happy to set up a phone call to talk more, maybe a video call, maybe meet face to face and talk about your needs, and then we can cater your buying process to what you need and really help you out. We really appreciate you watching. Please feel free to reach out to us and we look forward to working with you. And thanks again. Okay, so the big thing when you're purchasing a house, really anywhere, is strategy matters. We've done a lot of videos on this channel about how to get yourself ready to purchase a home. Definitely go check those out. But you really want to be ready to go. Let's talk about your finances. How are you going to buy your next house? Talk about what's important to you for when, inevitably when you go under contract, what kind of inspections do you really want? Know the process. Be prepared every step of the way. And again, that's where we can help you out. But also you can do research here. There's a lot of videos that will talk about the whole buying process here in Maine, and I highly recommend, checking those things out. But you want to be prepared for every step of the way. And that's really going to help you, not just knowing the market like we're talking about here, but also just the whole process. It's very important to be prepared, be educated. That way, when you're walking into it, it's that much easier for you. And at the end of the day, buying a house here in 2025 can have its challenges, even though it's leveled out and slowed down a little bit so you could take some time, but it can still be competitive in certain spots. So again, you do want to be prepared for that and make sure that you have the right guidance, and that's where we can help you out. So hey guys, so thanks for watching. If you have any questions, please comment below. We'd love to chat with you. If you are looking for a property, again, reach out to us. We can help you out anytime, and we look forward to it. And remember, if you make Maine your home, you don't have to do it alone. Hey, come here. Hey, YouTube thinks you're going to like one of these videos. So click on it and let me know what you think. And remember, come back again soon because we do a video every Friday.